The microphones are off right now, but if you press the button, and then I'll light up. Awesome. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. My name is Emma Blessing. I'm the Visitor Services Coordinator here at Atlanta Contemporary. I'm just going to introduce Atlanta Contemporary and then we'll get started. We're excited to have everyone here today for our artist talk and panel, Yehimi, and our panelists. If you're interested and you haven't done it yet, definitely go check out our exhibitions. This show is up until January 9th. And then it will come down and we'll have some new artists up in February. All that information is up on our website. We also have a couple of other events that we're really excited about. December 18th, we're going to be doing a holiday market. You guys have some last minute shopping to do. I'm really excited about that. Again, check out our website. Also, if you really enjoyed your time here, we appreciate you leave a donation on the way out. But if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will let you speak for just a second. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Hello, thank you for coming. I lost my voice. No, you all know already, so I'm very sorry to do that. I'm really excited to be hosting this conversation with the Atlanta Contemporary. I'm recently in my work really trying to be very intentional about getting out of the way of my own work and really centering the voices of people who I'm creating the work for. In thinking about my work, I really was like looking back at the murals that I did in Atlanta, and I realized that it's still heavily centered around this like good immigrant dreamer narrative. And so I'm very honored that El Refugio was willing to partner with me. This is actually a partnership that we started talking about back in 2019. I was going to paint a mural in their backyard at their hospitality home in Georgia, which is where Stewart Detention Center is located. It is one of the deadliest detention centers in the country here in our own backyard. But because of ICE, visitation was shut down. And so as we picked up our conversation again about how to collaborate, we shifted to really bringing the art about immigration detention to the city. I really hope that this piece, along with the other ones that we will create in the coming months, maybe, will help Atlanta grow a consciousness about what is happening with immigration detention. Because even though we don't really get to see it day to day in our own communities, like it really is impacting people we work with, people we go to school with, people we love. And so in the spirit of getting out of the way, I'm gonna go ahead and hand it over to Amilcar. Amilcar is Executive Director at El Refugio. We also have Sanchez, the founder of Community Estrella, and Nilson, Barahona will be joining us very, very soon. There's a lot of traffic, there's a cake or something going on. And so he'll be here very soon. He's the founder of Icebreakers. And so I hope you guys can take some time to like follow each of them on Instagram, go to their websites, sign up for their newsletters, and as the weeks go on, like you take the time to like participate and get engaged with the work that they're doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. To see if there is anyone here who speaks Spanish, like to have access to interpretation. So we have a phone number that you can call, get interpretation. But you can do that, and Stacey can provide the number. Cecilia is helping us with interpretation. So if you need to, please find number. So if you call the number, you have my interpretation. All right. So we'll start today's panel. I want to first of all thank you, Dave, for working through this installation and the art that you created over the years that reflects the reality of the immigrant community here in the Atlanta area, here in Georgia, here in the Southeast, and reflects this particular piece reflects the reality of those who are trapped in the immigration system here in Georgia. So thank you so much, Jamie, for partnering with us in this case. Also, thanks to the Atlanta Contemporary for giving us this opportunity to host this panel today. And just to share with you a little bit about what each organization do, but most importantly, hear from those who are very impacted by this center for the immigration system. Thanks to our panelists, Sanchez and Nilson, who's going to join in a few minutes, and of course, thank you all for being here today in this wonderful panel. I'd like to start before the questions to our panelists to give a little bit of a context of immigration detention here in the United States, and especially here in the state of Georgia. Many people are shocked to learn the United States basically has the largest immigration detention system in the world. 25% of the people who are incarcerated across the world are in a facility in the United States. The immigration detention system is part of that larger piece of our criminal justice system that allows people forward in detention facilities, jails, and prisons. There are about 200 facilities across the United States that detain immigrants. Here in Georgia, there are currently 2 facilities that are detaining people. One of them is Stewart Detention Center, which we'll learn more about it, and the Detention Center, which was recently closed, or is a contract ended with immigration. We also know that during the Trump administration, we sought funding to detain about 50,000 people in any given day in immigration detention facilities. We are, during this pandemic, experiencing one of the lowest, you can say, number of detention. But since this current administration took office in January 2020, there has been an increase. So in January 2020, we have about 50,000 people detained in immigration facilities any given day in the United States. Today, there are more than 21,000 people, so 70% increase during this administration. You can see where the priorities are here too. So as I mentioned, there is a huge increase. Conditions in detention have worsened during this pandemic. People in the Stewart Detention Center, for example, had suffered more abuse. The conditions have worsened, as I said. 4 people, unfortunately, have died during this pandemic at the Stewart Detention Center. The Stewart Detention Center is the deadliest facility in the United States. There are a total of 9 deaths in detention. And is plagued with abuses, neglect, violation of basic human rights for people who are currently detained. All of these issues have been reported by organizations over the years. ACLU, Great South, Detention Watch Network, and more recently, El Refugio, and the nations that work with, created a report called Cage Here. Google it, find more information about the conditions, especially during this pandemic, at the Stewart Detention Center. Stewart Detention Center has the capacity to detain more than 1,900 people, which you can see reflected in the installation Jamie created. Jamie created that reflects that specific number of detention capacity that this facility has. You probably can see that each butterfly represents that number. And there is one butterfly that is out of the city, probably where to see it is what is just a little bit outside of the older ones that represent the people who have been able to survive the nation and able to make it or face nation. So today, at Stewart Detention Center, we detain people who come from all over the world, but especially people who are from Latin America. Today, immigrants from Haiti who are fleeing, the horrible conditions, political instability in Haiti, are denied access and are being deported. People who are fleeing the political persecution in Nicaragua are denied access and are being deported. And that's the reality of many people at the Stewart Detention Center, patients, Nicaraguan residents, and people across Latin America who are not deported or continue to stay in the United States for the cases. Black immigrants, for example, face more abuses in facilities, it's like from detention. All to say that immigration detention is unnecessary, is wasteful, and must end. Today, we're going to hear stories of those who are directly impacted by immigration detention. I'm going to introduce our panelists. Sanchez, he's a trans Mexican immigrant, Sambo, indigenous Black woman, grassroots organizer, and a tenacious community human rights defender from the community of sexual gender and diversity, particularly trans and gender affirming Latinx. She has managed to project social, cultural, political, and spiritual impact thanks to her story, the story of the community of survival, resistance, and resilience. So thank you, Leah, for being here. Nilson Barahona, originally from the US, came an organizer where he was detained at the Stewart Detention Center and the Youth Detention Center here in Georgia. From within, he fought in the most strategic way to expose the mistreatment and the inhumane conditions that people detained by ICE are included in the middle of this global pandemic. So welcome our panelists and thank you for being here. I'm going to start questions for you all. Start first. So please tell us how long were you detained at these facilities by ICE and what that experience was for you, how that looks like, the conditions where you experienced. ¿Quieres empezar tú, Lian, decirnos un poco de cuánto tiempo estabas en detención, cuál fue esa experiencia para ti y las condiciones en las que tú estabas?
Bueno, gracias por a Yehimi y a este proyecto por hacer la invitación, a Amilcar. También pues vamos a hacer una de esta compañero de lucha.
Thank you so much for
Oh, ok. Yo creo que necesito hablar más fuerte. Ok, entonces, bueno, pues, pues nada, agradecer a los organizadores de este evento, a Yehimi, a Nilson, y también un placer de estar con mi compañero de lucha, Nilson.
I just want to give thanks to folks for having me here, the organizers of this event, Jamie and Nilson, for being able to bring me here.
Pues yo estuve aproximadamente 13 meses en 3 distintos centros de inmigración y también bajo el Departamento de Justicia. En total estuve casi como 16 meses entre los cuatro lugares.
I was detained for 13 months in 3 different detention centers, also under the Department of Justice. So in total, it was basically 16 months in 4 different locations.
Los cambios fueron muy drásticos porque el departamento de justicia, bueno, de la cárcel de ICAP, todavía son más como, respetaban todavía a tu identidad y tenían como más o menos como se podría decir como una idea de quién es una persona trans, pero cuando yo llegué al primer centro de detención de inmigración, que es en el Atlanta Sliver Detention Center, ahí yo sí vi una discriminación al grado de que me desnudaron para saber a dónde me iban a acomodar. Para mí eso fue muy doloroso porque me pregunté en ese momento si yo vengo huyendo de mi país, de la violencia, de todo ese prejuicio hacia nuestra comunidad trans, y llego a Estados Unidos, un país de derechos humanos, no tenía sentido al pasar todas esas experiencias.
It was a lot of very drastic changes and from being in one detention center. The very first one that I was at, they did respect my identity. They had somewhat an idea of what it meant to be trans. And when I came to the first detention center here in Atlanta, that's really when I started to feel discriminated against, to the point where they completely made me go nude in order to determine where I should go. It was a very painful experience for me, especially considering that I was leaving the country that I was in because of the violence that was happening and the prejudice that was happening, and to come to the U.S., a country that is for its supposed human rights, it just didn't make any sense.
Y aparte de que fui criminalizada por todas las intersecciones que represento, por ser una mujer trans, inmigrante, indígena, latina, monolingüe, y me encontré con un país extraño, ¿no? Y sentir toda esa opresión del sistema fue terrible.
I was criminalized, and because of all the intersections that I represent, being trans, being a woman, being migrant, indigenous, Latinx, and monolingual. It was a very strange, in this country, and to feel the oppression of the system it felt very terrible.
Y en el centro de detención de inmigración, no quiero extenderme tanto, porque creo que vienen otras preguntas, pero sí se viven condiciones insalubres, inhumanas, y condiciones que ni siquiera te puedo decir, se lo deseo a mi peor enemigo, ¿no?
In the center of detention, inside the detention center, I don't want to go on too long because I know that there's more questions, but the conditions are very inhumane and very terrible.
First, I want to say sorry for being late. Very cool. Sometimes it happens. Traffic is not worse. Don't take it to another. But I appreciate the opportunity and the fact that you guys allow us to share our stories. Right now, life is limited. Resources that we will get back, and we do appreciate the fact that you giving us the time. So to answer the question of detaining and immigration for 13 months, I was 7 months in Yehimi Cambrón Detention Center and 6 months in Stewart Detention Center. And that experience for me was just opened my eyes, you know, to a reality that I wasn't aware of. I mean, there is no other way for me to put it. And I realized that people like me who didn't know about this kind of situation, we have been living our lives like nothing has been happening around us. But the truth is that this darkness, you know, my experience, you know, I tried to shine a light on this stuff. I want people to know what we go through. I can talk to you about right now, about all the suffering, and the pain, and the mistreatment, the humiliations, being put in isolation, with no water, due to toilet washings. It exceeds the limits, you know. This goes all the way to torture. And it's so much that I can tell you about my personal feelings. But this is bigger than this. I think neither of us is here because we want to talk about ourselves. We have been able to identify in our lives that we have to raise our voices, that we have to say the things that we went through so other people don't have to go through. And that's what I learned. That's what I learned. Let me tell you something, I'm not the same person that I was before. I mean, it's before and after. And this is what I went through in detention is something that it marks and it shifts the direction of my life completely. And in a way, I'm glad for it because I feel like I have found a purpose in my life. And if the day of tomorrow, my son has something to say about his brother, I mean, that's going to be important. But honestly, as a community, we can't stop. We got to talk about what we went through. And you may think right now, okay, you're going around in circles and you're not really telling about things that you went through physically or emotionally. That's because I want to give you a chance to watch the documentary. There are things that we experience, and I said this, and I'm sure she's going to be agreeing with me on this, that first of all, there is no words that you can use to express how humiliated you can be. First, because personally, my mind pushed me away from those memories. So for you to reach back into a memory that is painful, just so you can bring it back and show it to other people. I'm not saying this just because of me, but it takes a different kind of courage. So I am honored to be here.
Thank you, both of you. Yeah. Share this with us. And we have an idea. We have heard these stories. We this wants to realize that this is carry those experiences with you. It's a traumatic experience. So what are the things that you do to overcome this traumatic experience that you experience in the detention? What are the things that you do, how you cope with that experience that you went to the detention? Si puedes compartir una historia, cómo puedes salir adelante en todo esto.
Estuve presa del 2012 al 2013. He aprendido a navegar muchas maneras. Cuando estaba empezando la campaña de una más deportación, se escuchaban los ruidos y ver el proceso de cómo fueron avanzando todo este movimiento sobre la justicia migratoria, me hizo fuerte porque empecé a involucrarme, particularmente donde se hablaba de ese tema, porque antes no se hablaba de ese tema, o no se hablaba sobre las personas migrantes. Incluso, ¿verdad? Actualmente todavía seguimos con esa lucha interna de expresar, de hablar del inmigrante bueno, del inmigrante malo, un ejemplo, u otros factores que nos pueden como confundir, pero en lo particular a mí me ha mantenido fuerte por mi espiritualidad, por ser una mujer indígena, bueno, sambo, y sanar ese trauma ha sido todavía me cuesta porque yo estuve en confinamiento solitario porque ICE no tiene la capacidad de albergar a personas trans y género no conforme migrantes en esos centros de detención. Recordemos que ICE asesinó a 3 compañeras trans y género no conforme, tales como el caso de Roxana, Joana y la otra compañera.
I was detained from 2012 to 2013, I've learned to navigate a lot about through a lot of this. And when the campaign Not One More was happening, I heard the noises and I saw the process advancing for migrant justice, and that really made me strong, and it really helped me to really bring in the part, because they weren't talking about that topic before. At least they weren't talking about migrant people before, and we continue with that struggle today. It's an internal struggle around talking about good migrant, bad migrant, and other factors to be confusing my own notes. But the thing that has made me stronger has been my spirituality. I'm an indigenous woman, Sango to be specific, and in order to heal the trauma, it is something that is still, it's still ongoing. I was in solitary confinement, and ICE does not have the capacity to to detain transgender non-conforming migrants. And when I was in the detention center, and in the detention center, they don't have the capacity to detain transgender non-conforming migrants in the detention center. ICE has killed 3 of my comrades, 3 transgender non-conforming folks, Roxana, Joanna, and another person.
Y al estar encerrada en ese centro de detención de migración, al estar encerrada en confinamiento solitario, viene a mi mente esos momentos desagradables, porque ellos me separaron de población regular, supuestamente porque tenían, por protegerme, para que otras personas cisgéneros heterosexuales no me atacaran.
So being locked up in the immigration center and in solitary confinement, I had very unfortunate moments because they separated me from the regular population, supposedly to protect me, so that other heteronormative folks would not attack me.
Y ahí fue donde, al grado de que hubo un momento en que me ataron camisas de fuerza. Y me llevaron a terapia, supuestamente, psicológica, porque yo no estaba tomando un medicamento que ellos me habían dado para tomar. Yo les había dicho que ese medicamento a mí me estaba haciendo daño porque me estaba causando mucho sueño. Y me dijeron que si no tomaba yo esa medicina era una violación para de uno de sus protocolos, de los tantos reglamentos internos que tiene que sujetarse un detenido o una detenida o un detenido.
That's where, it got to the point where there was a moment in which they even restrained me. The word is escaping me, but it's the straitjacket. Thank you. They detained me in a straitjacket, and they forced me. They even took me to like psychological therapy, and they were making me take medicine that was making me sick. It was making me really sleepy, and it was painful. They said that I was violating their protocols because I was of so many rules that they had. They said that I was violating their protocols for not wanting to take the medicine.
Y si les cuento esto es porque no me ha sido fácil sanar todavía. Estoy tratando. Me levanto todavía en las mañanas y cuando puedo dormir bien, porque hasta ahora no, es uno de mis problemas que me diagnosticaron PTSD y hay noches en que no puedo dormir pensando en eso, todo lo que viví. Y aparte, la tortura o aparte el sufrimiento que sufrí en mi país también, por ser una persona trans y por huir de mi verdugo. Yeah.
I'm telling y'all this because you know, it's still been difficult to heal, and I'm trying. I wake up in the mornings, sometimes I can't sleep very well. They diagnosed me with PTSD. There's nights where I just can't sleep because I'm thinking about what I lived through. On top of the torture of being trans and leaving my country.
For me to answer the question, I have to tell a story. The other day, one day it was when we went to for rally in front of ICE office in Atlanta. And I think before that or after, I had a conversation with the Christian. He said, so how do you deal with the trauma? And I told him, you know, me going to rallies, that's how I do it, right? But then on that day, at that rally, I experienced something that I never experienced before. When I was talking, it was a little baby, and I felt like I started shaking a little bit, but I thought it was because it was shooting, you know? And then during the time that I was speaking, it became obvious that it wasn't that. I had my sister, Fortune, came behind me, you know, it used to give me support, and I faced something that I have never faced in my life, and it was the fact that it was hard for me to talk. I mean, I always got something to say, you know, but it was something like my mind will go blank. And then I forget about where I was going. I forget about, because on my brain, you know, before I speak, I how can I say it, like, I busy that area of my head where that subject is. And I knew on my head I was walking in a path that it was gonna take me to that place of pain, and my mind would say, stop. Do you remember what he was talking about now? This would be my mind talking to me. But I would have to start over and keep going. But every time I reach that point when I'm about to find myself on that place, happened again. Happened to me like 3 times after. And on my way to home, I was riding with Elliot, and I told him, like, I told you, right, this has never happened to me before. This is something that this is not normal. I think before that day, I didn't realize that how affected I was. Because I have said before that, and I'm going to keep saying it because there's a main thing about my behavior and detention is the reason why I was able to move around is because I had to block my emotions. It was too much going on in that place. It was very difficult. Some people didn't even believe themselves. That's how strong, you know, it is. Some people can't take it. And I could have been one of those, but I had a mission. I had a mission, and like Victoria said, I think God would allow me to be in that place because it was a purpose. And I don't know what you believe in, but this is my faith. I think without God, it was going to be impossible for me to go through that. I may have given up earlier, but during the time when I was on the hunger strike, I didn't feel weak. Maybe every time I get up from my bed, I will feel this, and I can hear the tone of my voice, how we have that, because I didn't have energy. But those are the days when I feel the more powerful, because I was doing something with my life that I really believed it was worth it. Many times we allow other people affect us in our daily lives, right? I wasn't willing to give up for nobody. I wasn't going to allow anybody who stepped in that front door or myself to tell me what I had to do. I was ready to do the hunger strike and to go as far as I could. It wasn't just because of me, it was because everybody else who was in that place. So the reason why I'm saying this is so you can experience a little bit about my mindset at that time. But now that I'm free, it's a different story. I had a session with a therapist the other day, and I told her, it was like months after I came out, I told her, something weird is happening to me. Sometimes I feel waves on my body, and I just feel like I have to cry. Like, tears just come up, and I could be talking to you, and just tears flowing, and me shivering and everything. But there was on my mind, there was not a feeling attached to that, But I was just releasing something that I should have released when I was in detention. So right now that I'm out, you could see me probably, in a rally, crying and stuff. This is how I'm dealing with it. So that's why I say, to me, my therapy is rally, this kind of thing. Because at the end of the day, this is what our goal is, to bring to the light our stories to people who are living.
Gracias, Nilson. Gracias, Estrella. That insightful the stories, and then how. What can I say after that? Still change about this country, what we need to people, real people. Nilson started to talking about a bit about what happened inside in terms of organizing. I want to read that into combined questions here. Another time. So, Ryan, 2 questions. How important was for you able to organize the inside, the power that people have on the inside to fight, you mentioned hunger strikes. Leon, as I mentioned before, how important it was to organize the inside, the power that people have, that people have to struggle. And then we need to be the war here and now, how important it is for the movement that is seeking to abolish detention, to free people from detention, to make center the voices of those who are directly impacted by this system.
La gente de allá adentro es bien poderosa. Así con todo lo digo, tienen unas ansias, están dispuestos a hacer de todo. Me recuerdo.
The people inside are very, very powerful. I'm going to say that again. They are willing to do everything. They're very powerful.
Viene a mi mente cuando una persona una persona indígena de Guatemala o desconozco su origen, no era atendido por los médicos, porque ese es el principal problema en este centro de atención, que para recibir atención médica se demora casi aproximadamente de 1 a 2 semanas para que te den una respuesta y que puedas ver a una visita médica. Y bueno, pues, empezamos a tomar acción ahí adentro, no puedo decir que es la primera huelga de hambre, pero a lo mejor hubo otras antes de mí, pero cuando yo vi eso, la gente bien, esas ganas de organizarse y tratamos de buscar apoyo desde afuera, pero pues todavía como que no estaban muy despiertos sobre lo que realmente estaba pasando ahí adentro y aún así logramos que se le atendiera a esta persona. Yo recuerdo que era como 3 o 4 puertas que nos empezamos a pasar papelitos por debajo de las puertas para decir que teníamos que hacer algo para que atendieran a esta persona. Y bueno, dentro de ellas viví varias rebeliones, se puede decir, que ahí era donde yo me estaba motivando cada vez más y digo, wow. Y cuando salí del centro de detención de migración, lo primero fue buscar y unirme a esta lucha migratoria. Y ahí entonces yo vi también el poder de la comunidad y empecé a hablar, empecé a decir lo que estaba pasando allá adentro, y la cual eso fue lo que me hizo más fuerte y pues escuchar de nosotros, ¿no?
I remember there was a person, an indigenous person from Guatemala, or really, I don't remember actually the origin of where they're from, but they were not receiving medical attention. And it was very hard. It was very impossible for them to receive the medical attention. It was taking people 1 to 2 weeks in order to receive that attention, to get some sort of answer, to even see a doctor. And so we decided to take action. I don't know if it was the first hunger strike. Maybe there was other ones before me, but I saw the will of folks' eyes to want to organize and try to do something and look for support and to become stronger. And I think we were looking for support from the outside because people didn't really know what was happening inside. And despite that, we were able to get medical attention for this person. I remember that we were passing around underneath the doors, 3 to 4 doors, we were passing around little papers, like we needed to do something for this person so that they could get medical attention. There was many moments of rebellion that I had, and each one really helped motivate me even more so. Wow. And when I got out, I sought out to join the migrant movement, and I saw the power of the community, and I decided to talk about the conditions of what was happening inside. And that also has helped me to become stronger, and to really listen to each other.
This is a very interesting question, because at least for me to answer is interesting because, like I said before, I was playing, I had no idea of what activist was. I haven't yet, even though it starts with an A, but I haven't yet found the dictionary yet. No. But it's for me it's like a calling, if there is a way to put it. Before at the beginning of my detention, I was just there thinking that I was going to be there for 2-3 months and then out. But I didn't know we were about to face, which is the pandemic, which caused for courts to close and end up on me staying there longer than I thought. So I try to invest my time on something. There's not much to do there. I started reading. I read some books. One of them that I remember vividly is John Maxwell, Living Text. He talks about your potential. After that one, I read a couple of books that talked about the subject, about how to use your potential the right way. So that made me think about what was since my early years and realize that in a way I was able to make people understand things that I want them to understand. Like, for example, I will always try to put a story behind something I want to teach because it makes for me it's easier, to use it as an illustration. So I would always do these kind of things, especially in church or preaching and stuff, sharing the word of God. And they would, I acknowledge the fact that there was a leader in me that I never really wanted to call a leader because I didn't want the responsibility. And that's what makes us step away from who we really are many times in our lives. Because who you are is only you, no more. There's nobody who has lived the same experience that you have lived. There's nobody that has the same, let me get it to this point, the same DNA that you have. Which makes you unique in every single way. Being yourself sometimes is the hardest thing to do. Sometimes it's easier to be who people want you to be. But like I said, I decided not to be the other one. And to stand up for the things that I believe. I think if I have to be honest with you, one of the hardest things to do when you're trying to organize is religion. It was hard for me to get everybody on board so we can do this strike because we figured that if we didn't do it all together, it wasn't going to create the impact that we needed. I had to get the Muslims involved, and they have just come out of the Ramadan. Can be fast, which they will see it. And then how to deal a little bit with the Christians that they say, we have to deal with that, we can't do nothing, no, we can't do it. Organizing is rebellion, we can't, no. I think that's running away from our responsibility. Because God has created you in a way only you can speak that way. You can raise your hand that way. Only you can create a reflection of itself through you. It's you. So, as you see how hard it is for me to be quiet. I just keep talking and talking and talking. I don't want to think all day, but bottom line is it took of all of us, I would say. Everybody has to be on board in order to be able for that organizing to be what is it, the word? Successful. Successful. And at the end, we realized that was how it was supposed to perform. But let me tell you something. I want to tell this in this. I haven't said it publicly that much. At the end of the hunger strike, no. It was like before we was put in isolation. We refused to get locked up at night. Next day, we knew they were gonna try to do something. So I remember I almost got in trouble with paper. I didn't, but that's how I felt. And I screamed loud and I said, "Don't worry about these people. Over here, you know they have a lot of, I don't want to sound wrong. This is struggle. This is struggle. Don't take it wrong. There's only females working on this shift. What are they going to do to us? They only have female cards. And even if they have men, they will have to bring 2 men for each one of us to control us. And they don't have that people. And you know what, guys? If they are listening to everything we're saying from the speakers. And I say, you know what, guys? In order for them to stop us, they're going to have to call the marshal. And for that to happen, they're going to have to accept that they have lost control of the facility. The Warren won't allow me to. I got it. The Warren, you open the door, and he walks in. You look at everybody. He said, guys, you guys did it. You did it. Everybody know everything you guys want. You can't be doing this before. He approached one of my friends, a Russian guy. Let's say he was, and he said, this guy just like a strong, big, tall. All he do is exercise. He was like, look at this guy, so strong. You don't want nobody to be hurt. And he said, my friend, Nico, he said, get hurt? Are you threatening me? Are you threatening me? You telling me you're gonna hurt me? And then I just look at him some type of way and I told her, remember, we cannot allow violence to be part of this movement because we're gonna lose. We have talked about it before, but we talked about it silently. So, bottom line, since I saw that happen and I had to do that, the warrant came, I said, we got victory. We did. Today, Yehimi County Detention Center is shut down. This was not about the people inside the detention, it was about every single one of you guys on the outside fighting for us. That makes it happen. And that is us as a community. That is the power that we have. We have to embrace our power. Thank you. Just a few minutes for questions from the audience. We're running out of time, but I'd like to allow for a few questions from the audience to panelists. Yeah.
A very simple question. Not so simple actually, but it's long term. With this current administration, and obviously considering why we're here, speaking about resistance from within and beyond, you just touched on community and the vigor that you guys came out with. Considering the fact that we're not seeing that much results with this current federal administration, Biden administration, how do you think the community can push people that have the power to, and have also made promises to close private detention centers? Where can we put our effort in? And I speak, I know both of you, I know you've even gone as far as confronting the president of the United States before here at Atlanta. And I always think about that day, and I think, man, like these guys, they have a fire. So anyway, I just want to ask, like, how can we continue as a community to push, whether it be a Democratic administration or Republican administration, in the right direction to end ICE detention?
I think one of the reasons why I decided as soon as I came out to get involved with activism and organizing is because I realized that we have a responsibility. And our responsibility is to make our voices count. I think sadly I'm going to talk about the Hispanic community, sadly in our communities, because many of us, we have come from foreign country. We don't teach our kids those civic rights. I think we have had done this from the very beginning of being our time to the United States. I talk about everybody whole time here. We will have a different government today. To answer that question, I gotta be realistic. I gotta be honest. I gotta say, politics had a lot to do with it. The government has the resources to help our community. The politics are the ones that is spreading however they want. So thinking about that and thinking about our responsibility, I think we will have to face ourselves with the fact that we have to put our own people on the places that they need to be. We can't allow ourselves to be ruled by people who do not represent who we are as a community. I think that it's been too long, too much for too long. And enough is enough. And I think we are living in a time when this generation is not willing to be quiet anymore. And if you ask me what the solution, I think it might be, and I think that solution is us. I think we are the solution. I think that there is going to be a time when our leaders are really going to be our leaders, and they're really going to reflect who we are as a nation. You may be thinking right now, but you are, wait a minute, like Nilson, okay, he was put in immigration detention. That means he's not from here. I mean, that means he should probably not have to be here. But let me tell you something. Like I said before, my life is not about what you think anymore. And this is what I belong. I have rights. I have rights. And I'm not willing to let go of my rights anymore. And I want to face anybody who think they are not worth it for their rights. I gotta tell you something. There is people fighting for your rights, and you gotta change that mindset. You are important, and we need you. Maybe we haven't get to the places where we could be at this time because you are not aboard yet. We need you on the boat with us. We got to do this together as a community. We are a family. Your neighbors are your brothers. You gotta protect each other. You gotta fight for each other. That's how we love each other. That's how we love each other. And I think that's what we need to do. We need to put and bring to the places of power people who we are.
Ay, ay, ay. Estuvo buena la pregunta. A ver, ¿cuántas personas de gobierno están por aquí involucradas así? Porque si no, no voy a hablar.
That's a very good question. Let's see how many people from the government here, because otherwise maybe I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna say.
Yo siempre hablo. Gracias al universo. Gracias al universo que me ha puesto donde tengo que estar.
Thank you to Nilson, thank you to the universe who's put me right.
Como les digo, soy una persona espiritual, creo en un altísimo Dios, te pueden llamar. Y al estar en ese momento, quizás no es la primera vez, he estado en otras oportunidades. Y siempre estoy ahí con ese coraje de decirles, ¿verdad? Yo creo que para que el gobierno nos haga caso debemos de poner a alguien de nuestra comunidad, elevar las voces de las personas impactadas, poner en primera plana, como en estos espacios, las personas impactadas. Desde que yo salí del Centro de Detención de Inmigración, ha sido mi propósito, y yo sinceramente no tengo la capacidad para hacerlo con personas cisgéneros heterosexuales, porque estoy empezando desde abajo. Cuidar a mi propia comunidad. Y cuidar a mi propia comunidad por ser parte de la diversidad es mi estabilidad. Si yo no tengo estabilidad, si yo no he aún todavía protegido a mi comunidad, yo no puedo salir a apoyar a segundas y terceras personas. Entonces, sigámonos organizándonos, colaborando, solidarizando, porque realmente nada más estamos siguiendo un chequecito y yo hago ese trabajo porque mi organización lo está pagando, porque soy parte de esa organización. No quiero tomar la palabra de mi compañero Nilson, pero somos personas voluntarias, aún siendo líderes, directores ejecutivos, como los quiere llamar el sistema. Esa palabra a mí me viene X, ¿no? Porque yo me considero como una organizadora principal, o una coordinadora, una capitana, o prefiero usar esos nombres que se han perdido durante el paso del tiempo. Lo primero que yo digo es sanar internamente, porque nuestra revolución, ese rato lo mencioné, la justicia migratoria, y he donde he estado en varias mesas de conversación, hay tanta división internamente. Y si hay organizadores aquí, les invito a que realmente lo hagamos de corazón, no por compromiso de un cheque o un trabajo. Si realmente sienten humanismo hacia nosotros o hacia las personas impactadas por este sistema tan quebrado, tan corrupto. Porque si no nos organizamos de la mano con tu compañera y con tu compañera, o con tu compañera o compañero, nos van a matar por separado como siempre lo han hecho. O quizás volveremos a los mismos tiempos de la esclavitud, o el mismo tiempo que nuestros hermanos de raza negra pasaron. Así es que esa es la manera de decir, entre nosotros está el poder de elegir y demandar y exigir rendición de cuentas al gobierno. Hay muchas maneras de hacerlo. Nosotros ya lo hicimos y lo estamos haciendo. Así es que, ¿qué puedo decir? Donde dejamos la solidaridad y no nos tengan caridad, porque no somos caridad. Somos seres humanos igual como tú, igual como tú, igual como todos los seres humanos de este planeta. Y si no nos ponemos las pilas, como decimos vulgarmente, nos van a seguir atacando. En todos lados, entre las 4 esquinas del sistema, se puede decir, o entre todas las esquinas del sistema. Eso es lo único que puedo decir con relación a este gobierno. Como decimos, como dicen en Latinoamérica, promesas y promesas, como presidente. Y miren, así es. Pero entre nosotros está para exigirle la rendición de cuentas. Y rendición de cuentas, no nada más decirlo, sino hacerlo. Gracias.
Así nomás. Okay.
Resumen.
Like I said, I'm a spiritual person. I believe in the highest power. You could call him God if you want. And maybe maybe it's not the first time, and there's other opportunities. But there's always this, this rage in order to say to the government, like to put someone from the community to elevate the important, like the impacted people in these spaces. And ever since I left the detention center, I've had this goal. I don't have the capacity to deal with cis heterosexual people because I'm starting from the bottom, and I wanna take care of my community, and that's part of my stability. And if I can't protect my community, then I can't go on onto a second and third person, aka people not inside my community. Organizing in solidarity and receiving the small check of is from being part of this organization that we don't want to take. But honestly, like, we are volunteers, even though we're called executive directors by the system, and that's what the system wants to call us. Like, that's not really the word that I use to describe myself. I'm an organizer, I'm a captain. I prefer to use those words that have been lost over time. And something that healing internally for us is actually something that I didn't mention. that I didn't mention earlier is that there's at various tables that I've been a part of, there's just so much internal division. And if you're an organizer here, I invite y'all to do this from your heart, not for the check, not for the work. If you really feel humanity towards us, impacted people, then do this work from your heart. Because this system is broken, it is corrupt, it is. And we need to do this hand in hand with our colleagues. Otherwise, this system is gonna kill us separately, as they've always done. Or maybe we'll go back to slavery, to slave times, to, you know, the same times that our or similar times that our Black siblings went through. The power is in us to demand accountability from the government. There's so many ways to do it, and we've done it, and we are doing it. Where do we leave solidarity? We need solidarity. We are not charity. We are human beings like you, and others in this place. And as we say in my country, you gotta
promise like this.
you gotta put, like, it's kind of like a saying of putting the batteries on you, like you gotta get it together, in order so that, we gotta get it together, otherwise they're gonna continue attacking us from all sorts of corners. And, you know, that's what I can say with regard to this government, because like how we say in Latin America, it's a similar how we say it in Latin America. And it is in us in order to be able to demand this accountability and in order to do it.
Thank you so much, and that's the time we have for. Gracias, Amy, for ready to that. Thank you for being here today. We're gonna hang around for. Yeah, you can take it first.
Alright, affiliating. This is the documentary that I was talking about. You're gonna be able to see live what I went through when I was inside detention. This is not fiction. This is not fantasy. You're gonna be able to see real time the things that we have to go through and the things that we have to face when we are fighting for our rights. So this is going to be something that is going to change the way you see things and the way you might imagine things about the nation. Please share it widely and as much as you can. And we want to put this word out there because let me say something really quick. When I was in detention and we had a heavy case, we were telling the federal government what we were going through, and you're going to be able to hear the judge said, "Oh, I haven't heard anything so terrible. We changed my position." Shame on him. Now the proof of everything that we're saying, you're going to be able to see it for yourself. And I don't know how these guys are going to be able to do it. So it's being exposed. So I invite you to go ahead and watch. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming.
On December 19th at 8 hours, we're gonna have a fundraiser with food. Can you tell them about it? No. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. So Chinga La Amiga is an event that's going to be a huge collaboration with different chefs, restaurants, as well as especially cocktails, artists, all in support of this hashtag Chinga La Amiga and raising $20,000 the goal for El Refugio. So any little bit helps. If you come out to the event, it's going to be happening most of the time again. 3 to 8 p.m. So I think our December 19th. people can start donating now.
Thanks again, follow Nilson, follow Estrella, Sanchez on Instagram, on Facebook, El Refugio, Stewart on Facebook, El Refugio Stewart on Instagram, and we hope to see you at the event. And enjoy this moment. Thank you so much.